Forbidden attraction is one of the most compelling yet profoundly misunderstood dynamics in human psychology. It does not exist in the open daylight of loud, theatrical flirting. Instead, it thrives in the quiet shadows, in the raw, unyielding tension between what a woman logically feels she should feel and what her biology is forcing her to experience. Long before her conscious mind can remind her of social expectations, moral codes, or her commitment to another man, her autonomic nervous system has already surrendered to your presence. This internal conflict creates a silent, psychological battleground. If you are waiting for an explicit verbal confession or a grand romantic gesture, you will never see it. Instead, you must learn to read the microscopic fractures in her emotional armor, those fleeting, involuntary moments where her composure slips and her true primal energy leaks out. Today, we will break down the 7 distinct micro-signals of forbidden attraction that most men completely miss. Understanding these signs is not about manipulation. It is about developing deep masculine clarity, allowing you to see the unspoken reality of human desire exactly as it is. The first sign is the micro-flicker response. Attention is the truest currency of human desire, and women are highly strategic with how they invest it. When a woman is attempting to maintain the role of a loyal partner, she will consciously try to anchor her focus to her current relationship. However, forbidden chemistry creates an involuntary magnetic pull that disrupts her internal compass. The most undeniable manifestation of this is the micro-flicker glance. This isn't a bold, seductive stare. It is a rapid, instinctive look that snaps away the exact millisecond your eyes meet hers. It carries a distinct trace of panic, the look of a subconscious mind caught exploring territory it knows it shouldn't. Her nervous system has prioritized you as the primary stimulus in her environment, making it impossible for her to completely suppress her curiosity. The second sign is the emotional communication slip. Every woman navigating an unacknowledged attraction operates with a psychological firewall to protect her social image and her partner's feelings. Yet, no matter how robust that shield is, forbidden desire behaves like water. It always leaks through the microscopic cracks. The emotional slip occurs when our emotional brain outpaces her logical defenses for a split second. You will recognize this in the pacing and warmth of her speech. She might suddenly ask you a deeply personal question about your life or your weekend, delivering it a fraction too quickly or with an unmistakable softness in her tone. It completely bypasses casual small talk. The moment the words escape, her logical mind overcorrects. She may instantly stiffen, look away, or forcefully redirect the conversation to a safe, neutral topic. This sudden, frantic reset is the ultimate confirmation that the initial emotional slip was entirely real. The third sign is subconscious somatic angling. Desire doesn't ask for societal permission, nor does it respect a wedding ring or a relationship status. When a powerful magnetic connection exists, it creates an invisible gravitational field around a woman. Even if she consciously chooses to remain on the completely opposite side of a crowded room, her physiology will betray her mind. Look closely at her physical alignment. Her torso, her shoulders, or her feet will almost always be subtly angled directly toward your position. She is physically tethering herself to your space, anchoring her physical presence to your energy, while her mind attempts to pretend otherwise. The fourth sign is autonomic nervous energy leaks. A woman's spoken words can be carefully rehearsed, but her internal physiology is completely incapable of lying. When she is near a man she secretly desires under forbidden circumstances, her internal emotional voltage experiences a sudden, massive spike. This surge of adrenaline and dopamine creates an intense cocktail of excitement, tension, and subtle anxiety. Because social boundaries prevent her from expressing this energy out loud, it must find a physical exit point. Stop focusing on what she is saying and start observing her hands and posture. You will see her restlessly twisting a ring, playing with her necklace, or repeatedly adjusting her hair. She might touch the hollow of her neck, a classic universal pacifying gesture used by the nervous system to soothe internal tension. Her body is literally working overtime to hold her composure together against the magnetic pull she feels. The fifth sign is hyper-selective auditory tracking. When a woman is hyper-focused on your presence, she becomes a silent observer of your world, subconsciously hungry for data. This creates a phenomenon known as selective auditory tracking. Her ears become tuned specifically to the frequency of your voice. In a loud, chaotic room filled with multiple conversations, she will instantly pick up on your laugh or notice a subtle shift in your tone, even while she is actively engaged in a conversation with her own partner. Because of this deep subconscious investment, she will frequently notice trivial details that everyone else overlooks. Whether you trimmed your beard, changed your watch, or seemed slightly more quiet than usual. This meticulous level of observation is never accidental. It is the direct byproduct of unexpressed emotional investment. The sixth sign is micro flashes of primitive jealousy. Jealousy is a raw, unfiltered exposure of human desire that is impossible to fake. A woman who is completely indifferent to you has absolutely no emotional stake in your attention. She will remain entirely unbothered by who you interact with. But a woman experiencing a forbidden attraction views your focus as a highly valuable resource, even if she has no official right to claim it. The truth reveals itself the exact moment another woman enters the frame. If you observe her face closely during that transition, you will catch a microscopic hardening of her expression, a split-second flash of irritation or coldness before she quickly remembers to mask it with politeness. She may suddenly withdraw from the conversation, emotionally freezing out the discomfort, or she may do the exact opposite by becoming hyper-competitive, raising her vocal volume to draw your spotlight back to her. Later, she will try to gather intelligence through seemingly innocent, casual questions. But the underlying tone will always be tight, guarded, and forced. The seventh sign is forbidden selective vulnerability. In female psychology, emotional access is infinitely more significant than physical access. When a woman is in a committed relationship, her deepest thoughts, rawest anxieties, and private victories are meant to be reserved exclusively for her partner. However, when forbidden chemistry takes hold, these emotional boundaries begin to blur. She will start offering you selective vulnerability, sharing intimate aspects of her internal world that she actively conceals from her inner circle and her partner. She might confide in you about her deepest professional frustrations, a strange dream, or a profound childhood memory, effectively using your presence for emotional fulfillment. By choosing to bear her vulnerabilities in front of you, she is establishing a massive level of psychological trust. Every time she chooses to confide in you rather than her partner, she is quietly removing a brick from the wall of her current relationship to build a hidden foundation with you. The bottom line is simple. Forbidden attraction is not a reflection of moral failure or a flaw in character. It is a fundamental reality of human biology. Human psychology does not always conform to social rules, and attraction begins with raw resonance, not conscious intention. However, mastering the ability to read these physiological markers is not a license to pursue complicated and chaotic situations. These signs should be viewed as warnings, not green lights. When a woman is trapped in this silent internal war, she is experiencing deep emotional conflict, not readiness. A man of high value understands that pursuing a connection in the middle of this psychological minefield only invites guilt, indecision, and unnecessary drama. True power lies in maintaining your unshakable masculine presence, observing the room with absolute precision, and recognizing the reality of her desire without being dragged into the chaos. Because ultimately, the right woman for you won't communicate through forbidden codes or require you to decipher mixed signals from the sidelines. She will meet you with absolute intentionality and clear purpose, making you feel completely chosen rather than just secretly noticed. To ensure you never misread these dynamics, click on the video appearing on your screen right now, where we break down the exact signs a woman displays when she is truly ready to step into your world. See you there.